You know, every time there's a brand new update, there are always some brand new balance changes, and in this video, guys, I will actually be covering every single one of them. And the SU-47 Berkut, which a lot of people have actually been requesting to be buffed, was actually buffed. So anyway, let's just jump right into it. So let's quickly start small. The weapon giver models were revamped. So what this basically means is that the weapons are now stashed in a completely different way than what they used to be stashed before. There are basically new models for this, and there was no other change. Now with this, all vehicle parts were also rebalanced. As you guys can currently see, based on how powerful the vehicle actually is in the meta, their prices are basically equivalent to that. And I believe that is a very nice way to go ahead and do it. Now the next change, which was also done, is that a lot of the tanks in this game have also received different engine sounds and different shooting sounds. So let me walk you through all of the ones which I actually know. Now with this, the USS Zumwalt has also received some new shooting sounds with its main cannon. Now the BMD has also received another shooting sound for its cannon, and I believe some other tanks also received the exact same treatment, but do let me know in the comment section down below if I missed anything else. Now with this, they have also nerfed the C4 and the grenade launcher damage against players. So there were two types of nerfs which were done to the C4. One of them is that you are no longer going to be able to explode it right away as you throw it down. There's basically going to be like a slight delay. It doesn't actually say that, however, trust me, you cannot actually explode it for a certain amount of time. However, I also noticed how the damage from the C4 will not actually be able to one-shot you even though you're pretty close to the explosion. So this is another nerf which was made, and I honestly really like it. However, the damage against players from the grenade launcher, I'm just gonna say that nerf seems to pretty much not exist. I don't see anything different compared to what you were able to do before. You can still free tap the enemy and the area damage is still pretty high. Now the next change which was made is that they have updated the background music. All of the songs are made by us and are copyright free, which I think is definitely really good. However, the next change which you guys are actually gonna like quite a lot were some balance changes to the Levad, which is something that has been quite requested since the missiles were pretty much useless. However, one thing which was buffed is that they have changed the speed from 45 to 55, so that is a huge buff of 10. Now a lot of things were also changed about the anti-air missiles. So let's go ahead and take a look. So the next set of changes which were also made is that now we are going to be able to lock onto air vehicles in around 1 second, and the missiles will also be able to travel much faster. However, this isn't the only thing because the damages were also buffed. So one shot should be able to do around 30% to the F-35, which in my opinion is actually extremely good. However, for some reason, the last shot right here actually ended up missing, so for this reason you weren't able to 4-tap the F-35. However, on average you will be able to do this, so this vehicle was definitely really good at actually engaging planes now. However, its damage against the Mi-24 Superhind is going to be around 18% per shot, so you will not quite be able to take down helicopters as easily, which are going to be having very high health. However, keep in mind that on average a helicopter has around 500 to 650 health, so most helicopters will still be victimized by the Levad. And now finally, a heavily requested buff has also took place for the SU-47 Burkut in terms of its turning speed, and it's way bigger than what you guys actually thought, because this thing will be able to even compete with the F-22 now. So I'm going to be having two exchanges against the F-22 in these clips. The first one is going to be a turn circle fight, and we are all basically going around 80% in terms of throttle, and as you guys can currently see, the F-22 cannot really get an advantage over me. However, I from time to time is able to slightly outturn it, which which honestly is a pretty huge surprise, being able to turn even with the F-22. However, if we do actually manage to go into a vertical exchange where we're both basically using the throttle abuse strat to get a better turn at a certain point in the fight, unfortunately enough, the F-22 will still be able to slightly outturn you in this regard. So in general, I would say that this vehicle is now basically on par with the F-22, the F-35, SU-47, all these top turning vehicles in the game, and it's actually up there in the meta, which is definitely a nice sight to see. But anyway, for the time being, that's basically all that was added in this brand new update. Here is also a huge changelog in terms of the bugs. I'm not going to be reading them out because once again, I don't want to make this video too long. But yeah, let me know what you think about this brand new updates, balance changes, and everything that was actually added. Anyway, see you guys next video. Have a great day, and thank you so much to all my channel members.